one of the big things that you will be doing in these next couple sections is factoring. And so like in example 2, we didn't have to take our cosine squared x minus 1 as different squares. We didn't have to factor that out. But whenever you factor, you have to remember the very first step before you do anything is to look for a GCF. After that, if you have two terms, you're going to be factoring by using a difference of squares, or I don't remember seeing a difference of cubes or a sum of cubes. I don't think you really have that. So it'll probably just be difference of squares. And then if you have three terms, then you have to kind of do the product sum method or guess and check, vary method, whatever you want. And then four terms you just do by grouping. So what we're going to do here for the first one, for A, you have a 1 minus cosine squared x. Do you have a GCF? Anything in common here? No. So what you're going to do is you're going to end up and factor this. There's two terms, so this is a difference of squares. You get a 1 here, a plus, 1 and a minus. You just have cosine of x, cosine of x. And you're done. Because it says to factor, it doesn't say to simplify, it just says just to factor. So that's your answer.
Oh, okay, so this one just...
Yeah, this one's just straight up factoring. So just make sure you pay attention to your directions.
Oh, it's because if it says simplify.
Right. If it says simplify, then you have to get it down to one term, okay, one expression. No plus or minuses. Now for B, some people look at this and like, so I'm going to show you something that might not make you make those weird sounds. Those weirdos. How about that? Does that look a little bit nicer? 2u squared minus 7u plus 6. What did I do? I took out the cosecant of x and just placed a u in its spot, right? This is called a u substitution. So what may help you is to rewrite it. Okay, as long as these are the same functions. If this was a cosecant and that was a cotangent, you can't make these both u's. But if these are the same functions, then you can rewrite it into something that's a little bit more easily recognizable. And then you can factor this. Now you may factor a couple different ways. I'm going to factor it here with guess and check. So this will be a 2u, this will be a u. And now these two need to be factors of 6 to add up, well, they can't just add up to -7. So if you put a -6 here and a -1, those terms won't add up. So if you make this a -3 here and a -2 here, this works out. Because if you add these two together, multiply these, you get a -3u. These right here give you a -4u. So that add up to give you -7u in the middle, right? If you don't want to do it by guessing and checking, that's fine. You can do it the long way. You guys okay with factoring something like this? Alright. So now, I factor this. What's the only thing I have to do here in my answer then?
Just change.
Yeah, just change all my u's back to cosecant of x. So then we're going to say this would be a 2 times the cosecant of x minus 3 times the cosecant of x minus 2. And you're done.
Other way you can do that.
Product sum method, that's where you take these three terms and you split it out into 4. So what you have to do on the product sum method is you have to multiply the 2 times the 6. So that gives you 12. You need factors that add up to -7. So you would rewrite your 2u squared. You'd have your plus 6 out here. And then you're going to have something, 2 u's in the middle. Well, if you multiply 2 times 6, it gives you -12. Factors -12 out to -7 would be a -3 and a -4. So if you have 4 terms in, now you can do it by grouping. So if you factor this by grouping, here you can take out a u, and you have a 2u minus 3. Over here you take out a -2, and you get a 2u minus 3. Then your next step down, wouldn't that give you what you have over here on the right, on the left? Okay, so that's the other way.
What's that stuff underneath, like?
This says let u equal cosecant. Yeah, that's a let. Let.
Oh.
Yes, I apologize. My 5th grade cursive did not come out very